So I got a new product today. You're going to be watching me install and talk about all the specs and all the performance increases of the EK AIO and a full installation guide on the 400D Corsair case in a AMD Asus B550 motherboard.
Look at that. Shit is nasty, dude.
First thing you're gonna have to do is locate where you want the AIO. This is actually very important because you're not gonna have to want to relocate it, because then you're gonna have to tear everything apart. So I chose the front panel because on this case, the top, if you put it up there, it's too thick and it will hit my certain type of RAM. I would do some research to find out if your RAM's small enough or not. But in this case, most of the time it's not. Take off the CPU from the motherboard. Usually you don't want to take off the CPU, you just want to take off the fan. But with Ryzen's stock pre-applied cream, what is it, thermal paste, it sometimes sticks to the CPU, and I pulled too hard and it came off with it. After this, I watched some videos and how to unstick a CPU from a cooler. You have to get a hair dryer and blow it till it's hot, and then get a flathead screwdriver or something with a sharp tip. Be very gentle and slowly break off the old thermal paste to disconnect the CPU from the cooler. Be very gentle with reapplying CPUs into motherboards. If you bend one pin, yeah, I don't know what happens if you bend a pin, but I've heard that it's very, very bad if you bend a pin. So now you finally get to install your radiator. So I have new fans that came with the EK AIO, but I use my old ones because I wanted to keep the RGB aesthetic, the gamer aesthetic. So I just kept the old ones. And this will work with the new ones and the old ones. You want to use the long black screws with just a little bit of thread on the end. You'll see it in the manual. Little side note, you're gonna find out when you're building it that you're gonna have to keep your back plate. Now install the thumb tightening screws through the holes that the old CPU was connected to. So now I'm gonna apply thermal paste to the cooler, the AIO, not to the CPU. I'm not sure which one you're supposed to do. I think it might be the CPU, it might be the cooler. I did it to the cooler because it was easier to hold. I install the C brackets aligned with the AIO. But this is it installed. You get the long pins. You'll see it in the manual which pins to use. For the last step, connect your power cables and route them around it and up and over and then into the header. Now I reinstalled the RAM. The CPU AIO cooler does not like to share the space with the RAM, so it's pushing up against it. Now, let's talk about the performance of this AIO. I was getting about 80, when I was playing heavy games, I was getting like 80 Celsius, which is really bad for a CPU for longevity. Anything over 85 is like really, really hot, according to Google. And I once hit 90. Whoa, that shit is hot. It was at 90. And my game crashed, and I was really, like, I was getting mad because I paid a lot of money for this PC and I wanted it to work and operate how it's supposed to. So I got an AIO, and this thing works really, really well. I'm recording a video. Sorry, I was interrupted. The performance is, I'll do some math. I'll show the percentage that it's better. I'll show a graph here. It's a lot better, and it does its job. It's not gotten hotter after like a month of use, and I'm very happy with the product. I'll leave a link down below. I don't know how to set up an affiliate, so it'll just be a link.